All right, in this video, we're going to take a look at creating a graphic legend. So these are really important in construction documents and especially for interiors and architecture. Well, actually every discipline, to be able to explain the graphic symbols that are in your plan and to be able to call out what those are. As you get into large projects, the construction documents become very full and very with a lot of information in them. So it's important to be able to, you know, pull out text over to the side and not have to, call that out for every instance or anything here within the plan. So a graphic legend is a great way to do that. We're going to go ahead and make one. First thing is go to your View tab, Legends, and we're going to go to just the Legend selection here. I'm going to call this my RCP legend. I want to make sure that the scale matches the same scale as my plan. So I'm going to switch that to 1/8 for this one. I say OK. And we're going to do a detail line first. And I like to do this I'll just kind of throw this in, especially since it's our first one. I will detail line that, so the shortcut for that was DL, and then text. And again, I like to do this first, and then I like to go to the sheet, especially over your very first legend, as you start to get the sizing down, and grab that legend and pull it on. And that gives you a little bit more scale of what you're working with here. As you can see, that looks really big as we're working on it here, because how we're zoomed in. Quite a bit different when you're on the sheet itself. So I like to do that first legend and then or that first kind of sketch, pull it onto the sheet, and then to start to adjust. So I'm also going to switch this. I want to have no title. There we go. So it's nice and clean. And then I'm going to go back in here. That's a really small font size, so let's bump that up. And then I can adjust my detail line accordingly. If I want that to be, thicker, that might be more of like a wide lines, a thicker line there. All right, so that looks a little bit better. So now I can go ahead and start to draw in, my information here. So I do want to call out each of the different types of information I have here in the plan. So for the RCP, that's going to be every ceiling type and then every light fixture type. So I'm going to start for the ceilings. I'm going to do a region. And I do a filled region. And I'm just going to draw a little rectangle here that's just kind of a swatch of that material. I'm going to finish it. And then I may or may not have those patterns in here or not already defined as a filled region. But I know those patterns exist because they're applied to material. So let's go ahead and duplicate. And I'm going to call this sand. So I know that's what we use for the gyp. And I did select the dense for it. So I'm going to match it to the sand dense. All right, I'm going to copy that down. Oops, messed up my spacing there. Let's copy from that point to that point. There we go. And I'm going to go with this is going to do my 2x2 ACT. All right, so I'm just creating new filled region types using the patterns that I know are in here. There we go. It's ceiling, not ACT. Took me a second. All right, and then this one would be a 2x4. Making sure that I'm duplicating and creating new. All right, and these are model patterns, so I can adjust them here, even though I'm in a 2D view. But that's nice, so I can make them centered and make them look a little bit better. There we go. All right, then I'm going to add text. TX is the shortcut. All right, I'm going to kind of center that, and then I would copy that down. These other items. And you probably actually would spell that out. And actually, I'm going to delete that and just copy this one down, save myself some typing. There we go. All right, now for the lighting fixtures. You could, and back in the old days, you would maybe have to sit and draw that out of detail lines. But with Revit, we're going to use what's called a detail component. legend component under the detail component. So this is going to be a graphic representation 2D of various families that we have in here. So that one's air terminals. It's quite a list. This is going to be a similar list to what you would see under your component command. So I'm going to go look for my lights. All right, so I know I have a downlight in there. It's my recessed can. So I'll click to place that. I know I've got a 2x2 troffer. Click to place that. I know I've got a 2x4 troffer as well. Oops, that's still the 2x2. There we go. Third time's charm. There we go. All right, so I click to place that, and then I would just bring the text down again. Yeah, that was the 8-inch. And a 2x4. And there we go. There's my graphic legend for my RCP. This would be something that would be similar if you were doing it for a floor finish plan, creating the filled regions and the labels. And that's it.